Welcome back to the Today's Woman show. Now, I'd like to give you my quote for today, which was by one of the greatest celebrities, Madonna. And she says, if your joy is derived from what society thinks of you, you're always going to be disappointed. And that's very, very true. Well, now, I'm sure you'd like to meet my guest. And there I have Gifty Enti of The Standpoint and Na Shoko of Tales from the Powder Room. You're both welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
I'm humbled indeed to have the two of you in here. My first job is not sitting here and hosting a show every day. So you are the real ones, the real deal.
You carry yourself so well, and you do so well.
We're trying. Now, my quote of the day when I read from Madonna, where she says, if your joy is derived from what society thinks about you, you're always going to be disappointed. Do you really think so?
Yeah.
Because
so true.
What we see of you in the media is not really what you are.
Yeah.
What it is.
Sometimes.
Because we see, a celebrity, like they said, is seen as being really glamorous. And I mean, to some extent, in that little footage that we watched where it says that you're expected to be in the finest houses and have the finest... basically, it's material. So money is never an option. Is that what it is?
Is it? Not really, but did you realize that the stress was constantly on the female celebrity?
Yes. But celebrities in general, you don't expect to have a male celebrity and think that he's poor. Somebody who's famous is supposed to have money.
But it doesn't really matter. They don't.
Precisely.
With the men, there isn't that much pressure on them, like the women. I don't think that when you see a male celebrity, you'll be looking at what shoe he's wearing, the kind of watch, But
is it because we are women, so we look out for women, female role models?
Exactly. That's why, because we are women, so the same perception of women carried from the traditional perception of women to the so-called woman in the public space or celebrity.
But are there pressures in being a celebrity, Nashoko?
Well, yes, there are.
I must say.
Well, one is what we've just talked about. You are expected to be perfect in every sense of the word. But the truth of the matter is, it really isn't like that. I was glad to see a photo of Beyonce without makeup, because people need to know that
you're normal.
Very. Maybe sometimes more than normal. How female celebrities look on television is the way they're supposed to look on television. But they don't look like that all the time. Like every other profession, you don't see... A banker doesn't wear her suit at home. When she's home, she probably wears a T-shirt. And so it's like that with being on television or being an actor or an actress or a TV show host.
But what do you think has caused that perception? Because in the West, celebrities are rich.
Yeah.
So why shouldn't we say the same for us here in Ghana?
And sometimes we also pretend to be rich. We want to be seen as the celebrities in the West. You meet people, celebrities at the mall on weekends, Saturday, wearing heel or dressed up, makeup and everything. So you present that image. And so that's what people expect. I remember one of the early days when I started presenting the news, and all I was doing was presenting the news. I wear slit and cover. I met a little girl in town, was with a mother, and the mother was saying, that's Gifty Auntie. She turned and said, no, that can't be her. She's not wearing slit and cover. That's the image she had of me, that I was always, wearing slit and cover. But sometimes the way we present ourselves as well, adds up to it. Because if people learn to accept you as you are with time. But if, just like the quote, you decide to go with public perception or public acceptance or approval, you'll be in trouble.
But don't you think that there are some people who, the fact that they are famous, it actually gets to them, and they feel that they're little mini goddesses, walking the streets of, we're talking about Accra, Ghana, yes, the streets of Accra. Don't you think so?
Well, I can't help but agree, and I think that's unfortunate. But I won't entirely blame those people, because I make them feel like these mini goddesses also. A person might feel really famous and superhuman, but that feeling won't last long if it's not fanned by people who make them feel that way. So if you think you're superhuman and no one thinks you're superhuman. After some time, you might just calm down.
You come down to
yes,
earth.
but people expect you to be that way. I know of so many female celebrities in Ghana who wake up every morning and put makeup on their face when they
don't even have
and wear pretty dresses and take photos so they can upload on Instagram so that their fans will see that they woke up flawless this morning.
But Gifty, do you think your upbringing had a bearing on who you've become?
Oh yes, I tell people I was raised by my father, right, and he raised me to believe in myself. He taught me that I could achieve anything I put my hands to it. He also taught me that it's important to impact on lives. He had a favorite saying that not for your good, not for your goods, but for your good.
Okay.
Yeah, not for what you will get material things, but your good, the good name, the impact you make and all that. So I grew up with that. So when I went into the media, I remember I've told this story over and over again. When I started coming on TV with a breakfast show, one early morning, Thursday morning, I'll never forget, my father made me descend into the gutter in front of my house.
Wow.
And we used to live by the street, main road where workers, all the time, the buses pass through there. And I just started coming on TV. I thought I was a star and all that. And the gutter was not deep. So when you're in there, everybody can see you. He asked me to sweep and buses were passing and all that. And when I finished, I just went into my room and started crying. He came in and said, no, I just wanted to kill every pride in you because I just want you to remember that among your siblings, you're the least, you're the last born. So this privilege you've had, don't let it get into your head.
That's a beautiful thing he did.
Don't let it get in there. Even at that time, I still didn't get it. I was so upset. But as I developed, I realized that was a good thing. So my upbringing, being taught that you have to be humble, you know where you're coming from, people contributed to your life, so you always have to make sure you are impacting on somebody's life. That's what has made me do what I'm doing now.
Yeah, but yours is a different story because you actually went into the media, you went to newscasting before you've actually come and be and you're now a TV hostess. Right. But yours is slightly different because you went straight into what, not really media, but you were an actress.
Yes.
You went into acting, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
What was the lure for acting?
I don't know. It wasn't always the plan, to be on television. Or
what did you want to be?
I wanted to be a lawyer.
Amazing.
So I went to GIJ for my first degree program to study communication studies. I was there, and somewhere in level 300, a friend was going to audition for a movie. I think it was Spar Productions for the movie Scorned, and asked me to come with just to go and escort him. So I did. And while we were waiting for him to come out, there was a sheet. They asked everybody to put their names down. I did not. The lady went in and came back and asked me to write your name. It's really easy. And it's embarrassing to add that she said, Chris Atto is in there. And I hadn't seen Chris Atto on TV so many times.
And you're dying
and
to
I was
see
dying
him.
to see him. I couldn't believe Chris Atto was in there. So I thought, okay, if Chris Atto is in there, I'll probably just go in and say hello and then come back out. So I wrote my name and I went in, and Chris wasn't there, but Shirley was there, and she looked very serious. And I didn't think,
she always does.
I didn't think I could just say hello and go. So she asked me to read the script. That was all. I read it, and then Chris Atto came in to act with me, and that was it.
Oh my God!
So I gave up my best. I'd never acted before, but I tried, and I got a call to play. I got a role in the film Scorned. That's how it started.
And was it easy for you to just decide that you would do it?
Yes, it was. I
mean, you're a very confident child.
I think so. My mother taught me never ever to let go of any opportunity so long as it doesn't go contrary with or to my morals. So I just said, yes, I'll do it. And I did. And I think it was great.
It was great that you
And that's
did
how
that.
I started.
So today's Women's Show, as always, my sponsors, I have to kowtow to them, I keep saying, because without them, I wouldn't be sitting in front of you. And they're BF, every woman knows what she wants, and Lydia's female contraceptive with Lydia You decide. Now, before we went on the commercial break, I said, well, I have Gifty and Nash going there, but I need to show some respect. I have Dr. Auntie in my studio. And congratulations, because I haven't seen you since that was conferred onto you. So congratulations to you. But you know, I like the story that you mentioned about your father doing that to you, because I think that by him doing that to you then, you were much younger, you didn't appreciate it.
No.
It was humble pie for you.
It was.
Because it just made you show, it made you realize that, look, I'm like everybody. I might go and sit on television, but I have to sweep a gutter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so as you've grown up, you're matured, you've come into your own, it's no big deal.
It's no big
deal.
So
you travel both worlds very easily, and that's the whole thing about being a celebrity, being able to cross over. I think the wealth has something to do with it.
Well,
really?
perhaps.
I think
perhaps,
so.
But
I mean, if I flew first class everywhere I wanted to go to, and I had a motorcade leading me from my thing. I'd act like a mini goddess.
I think it's got to do with people's, attitude. I mean, I'll keep mentioning my father a lot. Unfortunately, I was raised by my father.
Him.
So, my father used to say that, money doesn't change people. It brings out the true person in you. Right? I mean, with all due respect, I've had the opportunity of, at a point in time, flying a certain class for a long time. But once I sit in, especially when we are going to board, I meet a lot of people. I go and sit there. I come back just to chat. Maybe because of what I do. Because I work with women. My focus is on women. And you also want people to understand that what you're doing is not for a certain class of people. So you try to embrace everybody. I don't see myself as a celebrity. For God's sake,
I say your work.
I love what I do. I don't behave like a celebrity. Just like Nal said, I go to the mall without makeup. I go to the mall with slippers.
I don't care.
I don't care, I love being myself. I don't like pressure on myself. Even being in the public space alone, it's enough pressure. So when you decide that you're going to add the pressure of keeping up appearances, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
That's where the trouble comes.
You're in trouble.
That's where the trouble comes. We're blessed to have been put in a certain place. But that place that we've been blessed to be put is supposed to be used to better someone else's life.
Yeah.
Not necessarily ours.
No.
Ours comes because we look at somebody else. So for me, I think that it's humble. I mean, it's humility. I mean, it's and it's eating humble pie.
Yeah.
That helps you the most overcome all these things.
Because that's how you are naturally. You can't help it. You just can't help it. When I was a GBC, at a point I was a team leader, a show editor. What I was doing is sometimes, I know some of them watching will laugh right now. When we are working, I will scream, I will shout, I will do everything to make sure the work is done. After that, after the 7 o'clock news, we go and buy kinky. I eat with them. For some time. Some of them couldn't eat with me because they can't believe that Gifty Auntie is eating with that. But they got used to it. Now I have my own stuff. I have my own business. Every Friday, we eat kinky together.
You're still doing the kinky?
I'm still doing the kinky on Fridays. If you don't want to eat, they'll say, oh, madam, can I have my? I said, no, we are all eating together. Because for me, it's a symbol of unity.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those who eat together can stay together.
Yes. That's a beautiful thing, actually. I don't know how I can adopt that because I have 40 workers.
No, you can't do that. I only have 7 workers. I only have 7 workers.
So we can't do that. You know what I mean? And that way there's some sort of a bond that's building between you. But they say all publicity is good publicity. Whether it's negative, whether it's all. Is that true?
I disagree. I strongly disagree. I hear that a lot. I was actually told, my lecturer told me this once while I was at GIG, I think my television broadcast news lecturer. There was some very damaging news about a certain person in the media, and then there was a newspaper publication in which the person had said that, well, she's going to take advantage of this publicity because all publicity is good publicity. Actually, she said bad publicity is good publicity if you're in the media. But I think this is wrong. First of all, we need to appreciate the fact that people are looking up to us. People in the media have a lot of people who look up to them. If you do something bad, and there's so many children looking at you, and you issue out a press statement, and you say something like this, that, well, I know it probably doesn't sound so good to you, but in the media, this is good because it makes you more popular. Then you're corrupting a lot of young people. So I believe that if something goes wrong in the media, things go wrong all the time. Much as you try to prevent them, try to live the most perfect, morally upright life, etc., things might go wrong. And when things go wrong, people in the media need to acknowledge that they have done the wrong thing or what has happened is wrong, apologize and move on. Well, what I know from studying, well, I haven't worked in a newsroom, but the little I know about news is that bad news spreads faster than good news.
Right.
In any way.
Yeah. Bad news spreads faster than good news.
Yeah.
So if something bad about you is out there, it will spread faster than the good things you do. So
finish up. I'm sorry.
I think I'm done.
Yeah, okay.
I might just repeat myself.
The way this person reacted is obviously bad, but bad publicity can be good if whatever is being reported about you is not true. And it depends on how you manage it. But if it is true and you come out like this, then of course it's not good. You are not sending a good image out there. But there can be bad publicity when you know that it's a rumor, it is not true. You can manage it well by the way you handle yourself. When you're called for interview, the way you react, you can decide to ignore it.
Yes.
Totally
But they
ignore
make
it.
things up all the time in
They
the
make
media about celebrities.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Because otherwise, no celebrity will have a good publicity. Because there's always something. There's a rumor out there, about you.
Oh my God, I don't know how I'd cope though, if anything, because I'm such a private person. I don't know how I'd cope if anybody decided to start spreading false rumors about me.
It's hard. I think it's hard. I'm a very private person too. I try to keep my private life very private. My family and my friends and what I do off the screen, very private. However, if someone starts something about you, which is false, I think the best way around this is to ignore it. Because there's really nothing you can say while it is still happening that can change it. Perhaps you can wait for some time and say something. But while it's still happening, everything you say will actually be turned around and then it's going to look even worse. So I think the best way around it is to just don't watch TV, don't listen to the radio, don't read the paper. Just ignore it.
I don't tell you. I don't anyway because I don't even have the time. But it's a bit of a contradiction when you say to yourself that I'm a very private person, but then you're also in the media.
That's my work. There's a difference. When I go to work, I do my work.
Do you love your job?
I do. I totally love it. Otherwise, I would have been out because I really don't have to do it. But I love it. I love to sit in front of the cameras and speak to so many people across the country.
What do you think, which part, apart from, you love to sit in front of the camera and speak to someone, what is it that you love about it? Being the nashoko or helping others?
I think it's more of helping others. I think each time you sit in front of the cameras and speak, you change and touch a lot of lives. You educate a lot of people. You inform people. Through your show every day, people get to learn new things. And
I sorry, I shouldn't interrupt, but when I started this show, my wish or my prayer was that one person, at least one person watching the show should be touched by it. That's the whole thing.
And that's a great focus, because when you think like that, you actually touch people out there. What you say, you might think you're joking, you might think you're having a good time on the show, but everything that you say, people listen and people hear it. And just as Gifty said on the show today, that people who eat together stay together, I've learned from that. I'm thinking about it while while I sit here, and I'm thinking, one day when I have my own business, I probably will eat with everyone, So people learn every day, and we touch lives every day. And for me, I think that's the best thing that anyone
could ever wish for.
Oh, that's the best thing I can ever wish for.
How did a young lady like you get so smart?
My mother.
You see, everybody has an influence.
Yeah.
And that's what I was asking in the minute, that your upbringing affects you. But how do you balance celebrity status and being you?
As I told you earlier, I don't see myself as a celebrity. Really, I see myself as Gifty Auntie. I love what I do. I get people telling me, "Oh, you don't know the impact you're making. You don't."
Don't you feel that doors open for you?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There's no place you can open.
Exactly.
You cannot go to.
I said earlier that I've had the privilege of flying a setting class. It was because of what I'm doing. And I did a program for an airline, and they gave me 1 year.
Oh, wow.
For flying first class.
Wow.
So for 1 year, that was how I got it. But when somebody sees me going to sit first class,
they think you paid.
Hey, she's got money, Oscar, kind of scared, without knowing.
Yeah.
I sit on TV, my hair is sponsored, beads sponsored, dress sponsored, and sometimes shoes sponsored. So you sit there, you look at me, and you think that this girl is very glamorous. But everything, in fact, one of the things I hate doing is dressing up. You can invite me to a function, I will not come just because I don't want to dress up.
Yeah.
Last year, I was at Okriapiman Secondary School. I went to talk to the students there. And before I went to stand in front, I started removing my, I love my jewelry and my beads. I started removing everything. I just cleaned my makeup, and I talked to them for 1 hour. After some of them were crying and all that. So I asked them, have they noticed something about me? And they were quiet. Everybody was just wondering. Said they should look at me again. Nobody could get it. So I asked them, do they see makeup on my face? Oh, yeah. Do they see me wearing a watch? Oh, no. You have to get to a place where you realize that people accept you for who you are, not really what you wear. Sometimes you can't help it. Yeah. But when you get the opportunity, as Sina said, you let them know that this is not what makes you Gifty Auntie or Na or Audrey. It is what is here. And what is here, most importantly. That is what matters. The other things, it comes sometimes with a job. As I said, some of the things that I wear, maybe I can't afford it. But it's the perks that come with it.
And that's what the young girls want. They want the perks.
It's not everybody who will get it.
Yeah.
Precisely. I don't have it.
I did the show
hints to the sponsors. I don't have it.
I did the show for a long time before I had it. I did it for a long time. I started wearing beads because when I started coming on TV, because I have rich girl's disease where when I wear something that's not gold or pure silver, I get a rashes, I react.
Okay.
So I opted for beads. So everybody thought, oh, this woman loves beads and all that. Now, I don't even know what to do with my beads.
You have tons of
I started buying them. At a point, people came in. They thought they could use me to sell their beads, so I started getting it. It's a process. But sometimes they see you and they think that you're getting everything. You're buying everything. It comes with the job. I once had I had a young lady who had just come to work and started coming on TV. And her question was like, Auntie Gifty, how come I'm not getting anybody to buy me a car? Oh. I was like, you wanted someone to
know how long you've worked?
Thank you very much. The process, how I started.
Does she know how long you've worked?
I had my first, all the cars I used were used cars. The first time I had a brand new car was 2010, and it was my 40th birthday. So I thought, let me spoil myself. For years, I'll travel to England to go and work. Sometimes I get there in the morning, in the evening I'm starting working. The last time I work will be the night before I fly back to Ghana. And it's a process. I saved over a period.
But that is something we also need to teach people. You're fortunate, because I'm sure sitting amongst us, you're probably the youngest. You're fortunate to have come into what you've come into now. Right. And I realize you're a very smart person. So just to know that you can't be gifty overnight.
No.
You've got to, you have no choice. You've got to do the whole 9 yards. You've got to do it to get to there. And that's what we all have to learn, that whatever it is, it'll come. But it's a lot of work, it's a lot of dedication, it's a lot of commitment, it's a lot of focus. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And also, there's the whole reason behind why you're doing it. Yeah. Has a lot to play in the success of what you're doing.
Exactly. Because sponsors come and go. Your attitude plays a role. How you deal with them, how you handle them, the love that you have with them. We either make them stay or go. Oh. We've been doing this. I've been doing my show for almost 6 years. I've had sponsors come and go. Sometimes they come, sometimes they go, in and out. Nothing is permanent.
But your show is your own show. So you are the producer, you are the director, executive, everything. So you go out looking for the sponsors.
Yes.
I don't want to be in your shoes. Welcome back to the Today's Woman Show. We've been talking about the pressures on being a celebrity. I'd like to acknowledge sponsors once more. BF, Every Woman Knows What She Wants, and Lydia, Female Contraceptives. With Lydia, you decide. Now, talk about marriage and being in the spotlight. You know, sometimes you're married, your spouse is not. How do you think that, you know, it works for people like that who are actually married? Some men, you know, men have large egos.
I know. On my show, Tales from the Powder Room, we talk about women issues mostly, and various issues that affect women. And once we got a letter from a lady who is a celebrity in Ghana, and her fiancé isn't, and they're getting married. Now, in her letter, she stated that he has said to her that before they get married, she has to stop her work. Yeah.
What would you do if that was your choice?
I would definitely stay an actor.
And tell him to sort off? Because you think you'll find somebody who will actually appreciate you for who you are?
The thing about leaving your job for someone, I think, is after some time you begin to resent them, I think. Because after 10 or 15 years, you might see your friends or your colleagues you started with, you know, doing what you want to do. You turn on the TV and they're all over. You might stop watching television because you might get jealous and it might annoy you sometimes if you really love your work. You might hate the next thing you go and do. Well, if she wanted to stay a nurse, she would have. Now, if she goes back to nursing, she's going to take care of people. She has people's lives in her hands. If she doesn't love it, then that's not good.
But I saw you shaking your head, Gifty, as we were talking, because you probably could identify with a lot of the things that we were talking. Because it really is unfair on your partner that you always hog the limelight. You know, the limelight hogs you, and then he's left, you know, wondering. His name now becomes Mr. This person instead of being.
I think the honest lies also on the lady, the female. Well, we're talking about women, right? So the lady celebrity, to make her husband feel that
he's part of it.
Yeah, he has all of her attention also, and he's part of her life, and he matters also.
Well, even some people can make you can make some people feel like they're part of your success, but once their egos are, there's nothing you can do about it. But now you're in the limelight. Don't you find that you always have people who are pursuing you? You must have many a suitor, I should say.
You know, but that's not it. But of course, I'm 44 years, single, and everybody, and people will come to you in a nice way. Oh, I love you so much. I'm just praying. I'm waiting for the day you will marry. As if, you know, you're not married, so you're not complete, or you're not good enough for what you do. Yes, you have men pursue you for all sorts of reasons. Some will even come with the attitude of, they think that, oh, you know, you are of age and marrying will add something to you. Hey. So I've come, you know, I have money, I am, you know, somebody, so me worry kind of. And some people too will come genuinely, but you see this person, you know that the person can't handle it. This person can't handle it. I am a natural hugger. I love hugging people, and I call everybody sweetie.
Oh, we have something in common.
You know, so if you're a man, you can't handle a man, whether it's a boy, a girl, I will hug the person. Once the person approaches me or I know the person.
You exude warmth.
That is what I do.
That's who you are.
And with what I do now, you know, I have a foundation, the Girl in Need Foundation. You know, I help young girls who want to go to school and all that. And I have a lot of young girls calling me. My phone, I have a phone that it never goes off.
Okay.
Because sometimes, and it happened to me before, so I make sure it doesn't go. Sometimes people call you in the middle of the night. And it's because you have asked them, I have asked them to call me anytime they want to talk. Because they are going through difficult times. Some are threatening to commit suicide and all that. So you just want to talk to the person. Now, if you have a partner who can't handle this, there's no way it's going to work.
So do you think that all of these pressures have a bearing on you not being married?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It does. And, you know, you can't give what you don't have. Yeah. These are the things that give me the joy, the satisfaction. Knowing that I've helped somebody. Some girl has been talked out of trying to commit suicide. You know, just imagine, it was one night, a woman called me from Western Region, Takrady, and tells me, Gifty, I feel like killing my husband. He said, I'm ready to kill him because I've had enough. I had to talk to her throughout the night. throughout the night.
Oh gosh, that's pressure. That's a sense of responsibility.
And now
Have them too. We get brokenhearted. We get lied to. We lock our keys in our car, and then we have to stay outside the car all night. My car breaks down all the time. Well, I changed it. On the N1 highway.
Oh my God. And you have no, what do you
I
call
was
it?
run out of petrol.
No kidding.
I did run out of petrol. And everybody was saying, hey, give the auntie $1.
I know. Once I love kinky too. I'm a gal from Teshi, and I live in Teshi.
Tehi.
So I eat kinky at
All
least
the
4
time.
times a week. I eat kinky all the time. So I actually eat kinky in the mornings. I like my kinky in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went to buy kinky once, and then somewhat during the day I kept getting a lot of buzz from my Facebook. So I went to check. There was a photo of me.
Chopping kinky.
But no, buying the kinky, and then the tag was Yawao.
Oh.
And so I commented. I was like, really? I'm a guy. I'm from Teshi. I've been eating kinky since when you were eating Cerelac. So I'm sorry, but I'll keep eating kinky, and you can have more photos. Meet me tomorrow at the same spot. So
Good one, girl.
Very good.
Some people will. Well, at first I was like, oh my God, but I thought about it for a moment. I was like, heck, so what? So some of these things could affect us, but I think as much as possible, realistically, we react in practically the same way to problems, the same way that
Everybody else, that you're just the same blood that goes to the thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's been a real pleasure having the two of you on the show.
wonderful.
You I haven't caught up with for a very long time.
time.
Nashako I've seen on television. So today I'm meeting the celebrity, you know, herself here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and I wish you both the best. May your ratings go and go and go and go and go.
Amen.
Okay?
And may yours also go and
Thank
go
you
and
so
go
much.
and go and
Thank
go and
you.
go.
Humbly accept that. Well, viewers, we've come to the end of the show. I hope you've enjoyed it. And so next time you see any celebrity, know that they're just like you. The same blood that runs through your veins runs through theirs. The same difficulties, the same challenges you have, they have. By virtue of what they do day in, day out, they have certain privileges. And I'm sure you will in your own field one day. I'd like to thank the sponsors of the show, BF, Every Woman Knows What She Wants, and of course, Lydia, female contraceptive. With Lydia, you decide. We're celebrating Mother's Day, so if you have any beautiful Mother's Day messages for your mothers, please drop them on our Facebook page and we'll read them out live during the show. Don't forget our Facebook page is Today's Woman on TV3, or simply follow us on Twitter. Would love to see you there. Now, my quote as I leave you today is from Lady Gaga, and it says, "I'm confident in who I am. I've come to a place in my life where I've accepted things that are me, as opposed to feeling pressure to explain myself to people around me. That's just the way I've always tried to be. It didn't change when I became a star." So I'll see you next week. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.